as you can see, I've started working on Homer's tank. I got most of the ornaments and plants out of there, just the filters and floating plants. So I could easily put the sand in now. Let's see what it looks like after I do that. Well, here we go. I've rinsed the sand a lot better this time. It's not nowhere near as cloudy as the last tank I did. It's cloudy, yes, but nowhere near as much. I got a little more than 2 inches of silica sand put there now. And I had an inch and a little bit of gravel on the bottom to start with, and that was full of detritus, so that will become my anaerobic bacteria area. And all I gotta do now is put the plants back in and let her clear herself off, and then top the tank off after I get the plants back in. I gotta get those in because they're starting to dry up. Well, I ain't got the cover on there because I put a new piece of glass on it and it's drying. Glued it in place. Now the substrate is looking good, and the tank's already cleared off, so rinsing the sand out a little bit extra time definitely made a big difference, right, Homer? He didn't make the job easy. He kept biting me. He didn't like me in his tank. No, Homer's tank, not your tank, Homer's. Yeah, and the reason why you only see 4 tiger barbs instead of 5 is the cover and me being lazy. Another fish death due to me being lazy. I'll explain out here with the cover. Basically, a new piece of glass here. What I tried, instead of going to the store and getting a piece of glass cut for it, is I tried a clear bag and I wrapped it tight up against here so that it wouldn't the light wouldn't get wet where it was getting wet from the bubbler. And tiger barb decides to swim along, woohoo, and jump up into it like if it was a hammock. And well, he cooked up there, poor feller. Yeah, another fish death due to laziness and not getting the proper stuff for your cover. And tiger barbs are like little puppy dogs. If there's something they can jam themselves into, they'll do it. Hey, Snow. Anyway, here's the sand in place on this tank now. Right, Homer? Yeah, you got a bunch of sand now. Basically, there's like 12 different microorganisms that will live in the top part of this substrate, which will slowly, you put food in, the fish eat it, poop it out, then you eat it again, and then microorganisms start getting a hold of it and start slowly pulling it down into the substrate, and the cycle goes on. They eat it, poop it, eat it, poop it, eat it, poop it until it gets down to this where there's no oxygen. Then they get the anaerobic bacteria down living in the bottom column down here at the bottom where there's no oxygen, and then they'll eat what's left of it, or oxygen, where there's no oxygen down here. They'll eat it, and that would be your nitrites being converted into like gases, and then it will slowly get burped up through the substrate here, and once it hits the oxygen, it turns into harmless stuff as soon as it hits the oxygen, and it just slowly goes out your aquarium. That's the gist of it anyway. All the technical and jibber jabber, well, that's not really for me. I'm just a common sense feller. What's up, Flanders? A little bit of black-eared algae in there. I'll have to see what I can do about that at a later date. That big hunk of Java fern, I think I'll pull it out of there and put it in with my goldfish here at the 55. But I gotta wait until my light stripping comes in so I can redo the lights on these covers. As you can see, one of them burnt out, and they're not that bright in the first place. So I'm gonna put some strip lighting on the inside of these covers and use them. See how that works. Right, yappers? Yeah, fix you up too. Anyway, when that dries and I put it in place, I'll show you what that looks like with the fresh cover on top. Well, there we go. Finished product. I took that big pasted Java fern out of there and put it in my 55, my goldfish, for now anyway. I bought some flower pots. See if the parrotfish like them or not. If they don't like them, I'll just pull them out. One for each of them, so they can have their own little hidey holes if they want them. And I think it cleaned up pretty good. We'll see how that goes.